What makes Siege Siege? There are a number of iconic plays from Rainbow Six, but it's hard to say that we have a game-defining play. Something akin to Moment 37 from Street Fighter, moments that serve as an unwritten constitution for what Street Fighter and its community value in the gameplay. And since there's no concrete answer, I decided to start asking around and getting the opinions of various people around the Siege community for what they would put as this iconic Moment 37-esque moment, a constitutional moment of Siege. Now last time, we talked to Lynx about this, and Lynx came to the conclusion that something like the Hashom Azami against W7M in the Atlanta Major quarterfinals was a constitutional moment for Siege due to the use of the Azami Kiba barricades and just the nature of the play and the use of utility on both sides of the table. This time around, I have Fellow joining me. Fellow is another caster. If you've listened to any Brazilian, Latin American, or Japanese Pro League from the last year, or if you've heard any casting from any of the Tier 2, Tier 3 NA tournaments from the past few years, like 3 or 4 or 5 now at this point, you've heard Fellow. He's everywhere in NA. Now, in the time between me reaching out to him and us getting in a call, Fellow and I talked a lot about this stuff and various other things, and he listed off a ton of iconic plays, some more and some less known. But in the end, the play that he chose to be his constitutional play was
Dark Zero down to Hot and Cold, who's managed to light up the Lion and Mav. Only one full HP attacker left, but it's the same story for Hot and Cold. And there goes Cameraman. It's one shot for 9XT, one shot for Mav, and Hot and Cold will win this out. Only 26 bullets left in that Alda, but that's plenty. And he knows this low HP. He can use his Evil Eyes to win this. There's still 40 seconds left. Well, Evil Eye going to be a massive factor here for Hot and Cold if he can play this correctly. He cannot vault this, so he'll prep it, but that'll give away his rotation and his intentions. It doesn't seem that 9XT has noticed this, though. It doesn't seem like there's a camera, and there's a nice kill for Hot and Cold. He only needs 2 more, and they're both still very low. He can deny the plant with the Evil Eye and just keep himself alive. 19 bullets, so he's got to be careful with that ammunition counter, and here's the denial! God! 5 seconds, and Cameraman has to rush. Will he land the shot? Oh! Incredible!
Yeah, so the Hot and Cold clip is his entire team gets fucking eliminated. So now he's in a 1v3. He knows that there's one guy coming in from printer window, that's 9XT, and he downs him, but he doesn't kill him. So it's still technically 1v3 if someone picks him back up, which they eventually do. But that gives him time to rotate to then look for another 1v1, which he takes. And then, as Kix calls it,
he can deny the plant with the Evil Eye and just keep himself alive.
Hot and Cold realizes, oh shit, now they have no time because they took all these extra seconds picking up 9XT. Let me go stop the plant with my Evil Eye. So then what he decides to do is he tucks an admin, and rather than taking another gunfight, he waits for them to plant, baits them into it, and downs him with an Evil Eye. And then when they start looking for him with 10 seconds left, knowing they can't break the Evil Eye, they try to hunt him down, and he wins in the last 1v1. Yeah. So he does a perfect job of repositioning every single point in that round to take 3 different 1v1 gunfights, using his utility and time advantage as a defender to stop the play from being effective. That is by far one of the most iconic Siege clips ever. It also is during a time for the game where, I don't know, utility now feels very much so just kind of plug and play.
Yeah.
This was still kind of a time where it was okay, I'm going to get punished for using my gadget, right? Because imagine they had more info on where Hot and Cold was playing, and they're like, let's just fucking dogpile him, right? Let's just fucking, let's snuff him out from admin, and let's fucking kill this guy. Yeah. They could have done that. They could have theoretically done that. I mean, the ult is still really good, but now, like you said, with more plug and play utility, Maestro is just kind of and so much utility can now counter Maestro. He's just kind of a novelty pick unless you are on Bank. Bank is still one of his best maps because there's so much you can see with his Evil Eyes. You could play him on most bomb sites there and be pretty well off. Yeah, Bank is his map. Bank is his map. Do
you have a? I know you mentioned the Cypher 1v2 with a defuse on bank, but do you have any other ones? Because I know, like, when we were talking about this in the lead up, you mentioned a lot of just a lot of plays in general. I don't know if they would like qualify, but like you mentioned a lot of iconic plays, even some ones that I didn't think like you would mention.
Yeah, there were a lot of like heat of the moment where I was just kind of laying around thinking about Siege moments that kind of like that were ingrained in my head just from either watching them live or just remembering them as like a highlight moment.
Of course, after the Houghton clip, we started talking about other plays and why they do or don't qualify for Fellow's Constitution. After all, he's out here listing plays from Year 2 Season 3 Pro League Finals. Clearly, there's a lot of different plays that this guy was considering.
So there were a couple that I wouldn't really classify as like a good overall Siege clip that it instills like everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you have like the iconic clip where he gets a 4K.
2 remain for Astralis, but a shotgun at close range.
Iconic.
Let him go in.
No.
Iconic, be patient. Be patient. What are you going to do? You know 2 are there, and he gets them both. There's only 1 remaining, and Astralis are in good shape. And JR and 4K from Iconic.
I mean, that's just A, really good mechanics, and B, like phenomenal patience and positioning.
Yeah.
Not necessarily anything that revolves specifically around Siege besides like what a lack of info can provide for you if you turn it on its head.
It's almost like we've seen those kinds of plays in the past with like I think a good comparable would be the snacks like
oh, you would have bet your house on him hitting that frag. Forrest picks him off. He is down in the end by Taz. They're a man to the good here, Virtus Pro, but that is massive. But Snacks is walking around and just walking in a Snacks wonderland. He got himself a hat-trick of frags. He waited, and then he finished off the job.
He like sees the 2 players rotating to B, and like neither one of them sees him because he has perfect positioning, and then he just takes them both out, and it's like this huge moment. And
it's a great clip.
Yeah,
but it doesn't like instill what the game is necessarily about.
Yeah, it's super cerebral, but it's not like if you're gonna show someone, you know, Counter-Strike, you're probably gonna go, "This is beautiful," but watch the simple 1v5 first. You know, it wasn't just about clips that didn't qualify. Fellow had one more candidate for a constitutional play, and this wasn't a play that highlighted the prowess and greatness of an individual player of Rainbow Six Siege, but the greatness of a team and a supreme level of coordination.
So I found it. It was SI G2 versus W7M.
Okay.
And it was on Clubhouse where it was a Church and Arsenal defense. What it was is this is when Sens was becoming a little more popular for like kind of niche strategies.
Yeah.
What people started doing was they would use Sens's ROUs to create, you know, a little wall when they drop Moto so they can get into sight and plant safely there. Now, what W7M did differently this time is instead of having their bot main player hold a cutoff when people have to retake the site, what they instead did was they had Sledge play bot main with Diffuser. And when I noticed this, I'm like, oh my God, he's going to fucking run through the Kool-Aid wall, because why would Sledge have Diffuser bottom main when the triple wall's closed? That makes no fucking sense. And I'm like, but they still have Sense going Moto. I think they're trying to bait this. And that's exactly what happened.
JV on the Sense again. That teal smoke screen is going to go out and obscure. Volp sludging his way in. That's the diffuser in his hands. JV taking some serious damage. Canisters lose. They don't hit where they need to. Or can't shut them down. Look at this lockout from W7M. It's perfect.
And I think that mixed in with the vertical they had in kitchen made for a really good post-plant position, because everybody was so focused on Church, they didn't realize that Sledge just fucking ran into the other site and was planting. They had no clue. And then when they tried retaking, they died to everyone who was between both Church and above on vertical holding cutoffs.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And I think what made that even more brilliant play was the fact that like the crowd was there hyping it up when the casters realized what was going on. It was all just such like a beautiful, it was just such a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
Sense has basically these walls that deny lines of sight. Like, he's going to be used to get some sort of map control, and that can be used for either planting or creating space. And that's exactly what the send wall was in theory going to be used for. It was going to make enough space where you can drop Moto, not fucking die, and plant the diffuser safely, theoretically.
Yeah.
So because the enemy knows that, because they're aware of how every operator works, then they're like, oh shit, they're using a sends wall to plant. We have to counter that. And then while they're so focused on that macro aspect, there's another entire little cosmic play happening in the other side of the basement where they're like, okay, now they're focused on this. Let's go plant in the other side because it's free. The site's free.
Yeah.
So I think here, this is a replay. I think this shows KZ again walking down blue and killing the guy here, and now he's holding the hatch so no one can retake blue. That's kind of interesting. I kind of fuck with that. And then so now they know no one can play blue. So theoretically, if JV92 were to try to plant, they just have to worry about Church, but there is a guy playing there, and no one can cover that because he's going to solo drop. But that's not the point, because it's just a bait. So there's one guy, Church. He drops stock hatch, actually. Okay, so he is just in blue. They know blue is clear, and they red ping the guy, Church. Yeah, there's two people, Church, that are preoccupied. I don't know what the fuck Alamal's looking at. Virtue's fighting the guy here, and Blur, he's dirt door, not really doing anything. I think he's trying to help Virtue is what's going on, because it's kill hole right here. So both these people are occupied fighting the guy stock, perfect bait, and the other two are fighting JV92. Literally, no one is dealing with the guy planting.
Yeah.
Everybody is occupied fighting the other two people across the map.
Perfectly managed attention.
And nobody knows.
That shit TikTok.
Alamal's also trying to fight JV92 and then gets stopped by Herds. Herds just has this whole fucking lane cut off. And then Blur gets past the doorway after he smokes off the wall to dodge KZ. I think Blur might have known there was a guy planting or in Church, or he just tried reacting against this. But Julio was up on the vert. So the second he saw Volps, he died. He just got deleted. The other aspect is that everybody there had a purpose. Everybody there had a purpose. So if KZ died in that last minute, now who's going to be the guy playing blue for that bait, right? Who's doing that?
Yeah.
Now either Julio has to not miss a single bullet and kill the two people Arsenal. He either has to have like an incredible round as Maverick there.
Yeah.
Or him and Sledge stack up and then both try to take gunfights, then plant. But at that point, the jig is up. They know they can like try to fucking rotate blue with KZ dead. And if they can get past the guy main, they might have a chance of stopping the plant. Like everybody there had a purpose.
Yeah.
And because they did their job correctly, the play had worked seamlessly.
With W7M, I think a lot of the talk about them being
that was
nice shot. With W7M being like the new dynasty where everyone's like, is this the new best team in the world? Is like G2 overrated or whatever? I don't think it's like a set I don't think it's set yet that W7M is the best, but I like the way that they've built their case, because G2's dynasty, like part of the G2 playstyle was like super loose and flexible.
Yep.
And at least in the early days when they were still Penta, it was also very much like they wanted to get in the messy situations because they knew they had better players. So the mentality was like, if we get in a 2v2, 3v3, like we're better, so we'll win, and like we'll coordinate better. We'll like play off each other. We'll like make something happen better than you can. But you see W7M coming in here, and they've got more of this like tactical, like not solved style, but like very much more thought out to a higher degree.
Yeah, it seems like there's more thought put into what W7M's kind of doing. It's not like G2 did not have good strats. I think we talked about that as well, given how different the meta was, say 5-esque years ago now. It's crazy to think that like back in year 2, year 3, like putting thought into something is a little bit different now to what we are experiencing in like 2023, 2024. And W7M not only showed that they are really good under pressure with winning important gunfights, but they also can have specific strategies that can mesh really well with their gun skill.
All right, we've probably yapped long enough. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely yapped long enough. Is there anything you want to say to close out?
Nah, not really. I mean, say, fucking Beast Coast made the major. We'd love to see it.
Let's go, baby. That's what you love to see.
God bless America. God bless our troops.